quality control and damage checking video. Before a vehicle goes under the rent, certain checks need to be made. First of all, under the bonnet. Check the screen wash. Always top up with the correct dilution for the time of year. Do not be tempted to use plain water. Oil. Check the level, making sure the vehicle is standing on a level surface. Visually check the other fluid levels, brake fluid, coolant, etc. to make sure levels are acceptable and top them up if required. Tyres. Check the pressures and make sure they comply with the median load as per the label on the vehicle, normally in one of the front door edges or the fuel filler cap. If not, increase or decrease the pressure appropriately. Make sure your pressure gauge is calibrated according to the manufacturer's specifications. Check the tread depth. The minimum legal limit is 1.8 mm, although we would advise a minimum of 2 mm. Check also the tread wear. The wear should be consistent across the whole tyre. If there is excessive wear at one side of the tyre, this will mean the tyre is not correctly balanced or that the tracking is out of alignment. Check for sidewall damage both on the inside and outside of all the tyres. And don't forget the spare wheel for all of the above. Make sure all tyres are the correct size and load rating for the vehicle. They are rarely the same make, however in the case of a lease vehicle you will need to make sure they are all the same make. Inside the vehicle, make sure the radio is set to BBC Radio 1 or BBC 2 or a similar radio station and that the volume is not too high. Many valeters love to have the radio on a rather high volume. If the car has Bluetooth, make sure that your office number is entered as well as the vehicle's emergency breakdown number if possible. All other numbers should be cleared to conform with GDPR legislation. If the vehicle has sat-nav, make sure the only address stored is that of your office. All others need to be cleared down, again to conform with GDPR. An easy way to do this is to restore the factory settings. Make sure the upholstery and seat coverings are clean and free of stains. Check that the carpets and or floors are clean and have been vacuumed and swept. Check the seat belts move freely and click into the slot as they are meant to. If the vehicle has aircon, check that it works. Check the windscreen wipers work and move smoothly to clear the windscreen effectively. Check that the screen wash works. Make sure no warning lights are showing on the dash once the engine is running. Check door pockets, sun visors and the glove box to make sure no papers or rubbish from previous renters have been left in or on them. Check that the boot is clean and that the spare, if the car has one, is as it should be. If it has a tyre inflate kit, make sure it is unused. Check that the locking wheel nut is present and also make sure it has not been damaged in any way. If you are checking a van, make sure that the back is cleaned out and always check the roof for damage, especially in the case of high top and Luton vans. Make sure the exterior of the vehicle is clean and that all pre-existing damage is recorded on the check sheet. On return, the exterior of the vehicle. Start at the driver's door and walk around the vehicle in one direction. When checking a vehicle for damage, you should stand 2 meters or 6 feet away from the vehicle. If you can see damage from this distance with normal eyesight and in daylight conditions, then it is damage. Anything else would be seen as fair wear and tear. The only exception to this would be a scratch that has gone through the paint so you can feel it with your nail when you run your thumb over it. Check the wing mirrors for damage and cracks in the indicator lenses that most have these days. Look down the side of the vehicle for creases, scratches or small dents. Check that the brake and indicator lenses are not damaged and make sure there is no damage to the rear bumper. Check the spare wheel is present. Do the same checks up the other side of the vehicle and move around to the front. Check the windscreen for cracks and stone damage, including the edges, as these are commonly missed if not in the clear glass section. Check the bonnet for stone chips. Check the headlight and indicator lenses for cracks and stone chips. Particularly in the case of cars, check under the front bumper for damage that may have been caused by getting too close to a high pavement or curb. This will also allow you to check that the fog lights have not been damaged. Check each wheel carefully. Alloy wheels can be very expensive to repair and can be very prone to damage, especially on low-profile tyres. Check the tyres for sidewall damage. In checking a van make sure that you open the back doors and or the side sliding door to confirm that there's no rubbish left in it, and check that the roof has not been damaged. If on return the vehicle is parked against bushes or against a wall, make sure you pull it out, as this is often a way for customers to hide any damage that they may have done to the vehicle. If a vehicle is returned when it's too dark or raining, to check it, make sure you note this on the check sheet and get the customer to sign the check sheet. This also applies if the vehicle is returned too early for you to check properly without jet washing it. This is often the case in the winter when the roads may be gritted. On the vehicle check sheet, please make sure you mark the fuel level with a line, not a circle, as the line is more accurate. Also, please make sure that you point out to the customer what fuel the vehicle takes. You will need to record the correct mileage at the time of checkout on the check sheet. It is a good idea to take photographs of the condition of the vehicle both on check-in and check-out to avoid any potential disputes.